Hi, this is a follow-on review of the Triopo TR982 and the TR982 variant that I did a short while ago. I've since gained some experience with these flashes, and I liked them so much that I decided to buy a second one, but I bought just the 2 variant because it, first of all, puts out more flash power, and also it's now become even cheaper than the original one and more available. I think the other ones pretty much have been discontinued, so the 2 variant seems to be the only model of the TR982 that they're selling now. And the other good news about it is that when I bought the first one, it was around $75, and the second one I bought was around $66 and change, so they're getting cheaper still. So it's a real bargain at $66, even if you are a fan of the Nikon flashes, especially if you have, say, the SB910 and you think it's a wonderful flash and everything like that. It wouldn't hurt to buy something like the Triopo as a spare flash, because even the Nikon flashes do fail from time to time. If you're out in the field, it would be nice to have a spare one, even if you don't rely on it as your primary flash. But in my case, I'm using the SB700. It's a less powerful flash, and it's also because as I pointed out in my first review, it's starting to show signs of wear. The battery door on it is slightly broken and is ajar and everything like that, so I don't trust it anymore. So I decided to make the Triopo my primary flash, and my SB700 is now my standby. So anyways, there's that. Now, one thing I did when I bought the new flash is I went and revisited the autofocus assist light. You may note in my first review I put in the comments that the autofocus assist light on these flashes seemed to be too weak to use in a dark room at any distance. But further testing shows that in fact I was wrong. It's not that they're too weak, but in fact that they were poorly aimed. I was using a zoom lens and I was looking in the viewfinder, and when I zoomed out I couldn't see the autofocus assist light anymore. So when you can't see it, then the autofocus points and the camera can't see it either, so they can't really use it to assist the autofocus. So it's really not a useful feature on these flashes. Well, anyways, the newest one I bought in fact worked. So when I zoomed out in a dark room, I could still see the autofocus assist points in my viewfinder, and so could the autofocus in my camera. You could see it too. You can actually use it to autofocus. But I also noticed that the shape of the autofocus assist light on the newer flashes is different. So not only is it aimed better, but it's a different shape. So instead of a circle with radiating lines, the new one has a square made out of diagonal lines. So they aimed it better, and they also centered it better. But they also made another change too. The autofocus assist light on the newest one won't come on unless I have my camera set so that all of the autofocus points on it are activated. So if I just have the center one activated or the center 9, the autofocus assist light won't come on the flash. Only when I have all of them activated does it come on. So not only did they change the design and the aim and everything like that, but they also, I guess, made the chance that the autofocus assist is going to work better by making sure that there was a maximum number of autofocus points in the camera set before it would actually activate the light. So anyways, don't know if that's an improvement or it's a change. Anyways, it's something they changed. You'll also notice that I have a battery pack here, which I didn't have in the first review. I decided to get one of these and try it out, and I got an inexpensive one, but even with the inexpensive one, it works quite well. It reduces the refresh rate or the recharge time for the flash when you're running at maximum power from just above 3 seconds to down below, around 1 second. So it does make a significant difference in the time for it to recover from a full power flash. Another thing I purchased in addition to the battery pack, as you'll see here, I got some of the Yongnuo radio triggers, the YN 622Ns, to see whether they worked with this particular flash, as well as to see whether or not I could start getting into off-camera flash, because I've been doing mostly on-camera to this point. So the good news is they work just fine with the Triopo. They work no differently than they do with the Nikon. Even when I was testing things like high-speed sync, the Triopo worked just as well as the SB700. In fact, it worked a little bit better because it could put out more power. You may recall from the first review that the Triopo 982 variant puts out more power than the SB700 at full power. When I used a light meter to test it, it was actually about 1 stop brighter, so it is a more powerful flash. When you start using in high-speed sync, which also reduces flash power, it's even more noticeable that the Triopo puts out more power than the SB700. When you start using high-speed sync, it just puts out more light. So that's another handy feature of these flashes. The last thing I wasn't able to do in the first review is to show how to use the master mode of the 2 variant. The original TR982 didn't have the master mode, it only had slave modes, but the 2 variant has a master mode built in. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to figure out how to make it work because the manual wasn't exactly clear on that. But after fighting with the manual and reading it again and playing around and everything, I finally did figure out how to make that work. So I thought I would try and share that with you. So bear with me, and we'll see if we can't get that to down on film so that you people can actually use that particular mode. So hold on. Let's disconnect it here. And let's start. So I'm going to start it off with nothing set. It's going to be just in ITTL mode, which would be the mode that you would want to have it if you're using it as a slave on a radio flash like this. But let's pretend we're now going to set it up to become a master on-camera flash that uses the Nikon creative lighting system, in other words, the optical flash controller to control slave flashes. Okay, so now we want to set this up as the master. To do that, the first thing you have to do is set it into master mode. And to do that, you use the left one of the clear button here, and you press it once, and that puts it into master mode. You'll see that it says master there. So now we're in the right mode, but what we need to now set are things like the channels and the groups, so that we're controlling the right flashes and we're setting them to the right power. Okay, so let's start by changing the channel or setting the channel. I have it on channel 1 right now. I want to leave it on channel 1, but I'll just show you so that you can use it later on if you need to change the channel, how to change the channel. So what you do is you use the zoom button, and then you keep pressing it until the channel button is blinking, and then you use the left and right buttons to set the channel. Okay, so there's 2, 3, 4, and then left back down to 1. Okay, so I want to leave it in 1. And then when it stops blinking, essentially you're set as far as the channel is concerned. Now we want to start setting groups. So let's say I want to set 2 groups, a group A in ITTL mode and a group B in a manual mode. Okay, so let's go through that setting. And by the way, this one also controls channel C, unlike the SB700 and the built-in flash on the D7100 only controls groups A and B. It doesn't have any facility for controlling C that I know of or that I could find. But this one actually allows me to set group C if I want, but I'm not going to set group C to anything. Okay, so let's start setting group A. So there we have A, and now we set A, and we'll set it to ITTL. So I want the group A slaves to be triggered using ITTL. Now let's set group B. Rather than ITTL, I want them to be manual mode. Okay? So when that stops flashing, you'll find that group B is actually in manual mode. And I'll show you how to review that later. But the next thing I want to do is I want to set the master flash here. This is the one that's going to be on the camera. I want to set it off. Okay, right now, if you look in the lower left-hand corner, there's a flash icon there, and it shows little lights radiating out of it. It means that this flash will flash as well as sending control signals to slaves on A and B groups, channel 1, but it's also going to contribute to the flash. We don't want that. Okay, so let's change that. Okay, so now the flash is flashing. You go to the left button, you click it, and now the little lights, the little lines are not radiating from the flash. That means that this flash will not contribute to the light. Okay, only slaves on A and B will contribute to the light in the picture. Okay, so now we've set A and B to A to ITTL and B to manual. Let's set the actual power settings on those. To do that, you use the center button here. Yes, it's complicated, I know. So many buttons, okay, and so many settings to do. But anyways, when you click it once, A is flashing, and now you can set the exposure value, plus or minus. So this is going all the way up to +7. So let's set it at +7 for some reason, okay? So now A is ITTL +7. Plus 0.7, pardon me. So let's set B now. So B is flashing, it's at 1/28. Let's set it at 1/32, plus 0.3. Okay, so left, right, up, down allows you to set it in large increments, small increments. Okay, if you want to review it, just press the center button. Okay, and allows you to review the settings. And that's it. That's all you need to know to set this as a master flash so that it controls slaves optically. Okay, I hope this helps. Bye.